Hey guys, I'm back again. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Check out the links in the description. USPS. I saw online the other day. Some people got political with it. I don't think it has really much to do with politics. But USPS is going to go up basically, something like 6%. And basically on Sunday, July 13th, which is this upcoming Sunday. And let's look at how it affects USPS depending on the shipping type. Because if you ship by weight, you have a scale, you could either fall into medium L, which that'll go up, which it doesn't state in here, it just states, or you ship by priority or ground advantage, which is kind of like the new, I guess, first class. So priority mail will go up by 6.3%, ground advantage by 7.1%, parcel select, it will go up by 7.6%, and forever stamps will go up from 73 cents to 78 cents. My thoughts on that is if you're a seller, it's going to affect you because you basically have to, in a way, make sure your buyers will pay this. And you may have to work with them a little more to make them feel like they're not getting robbed with the new prices to where they want to feel comfortable buying from you. That's why, in a way, you may want to have it to where you can do some kind of local transactions, like local pickups, even if it's at your house or you go meet at the grocery store and try to make it as safe as possible. I know trusting somebody can be hard, but it may help you in your business. And if you have a location in town, that's even great too, because instead of me having to ship it to you, you can come to me if I'm in your area, or if you have a chain of stores, and you can come pick it up here. So, yeah, with the shipping, it's going to definitely make people have to charge more for shipping. We'll have to see what eBay does, and some of them that try to work with you a little bit or ShipStation and people like that. But I think it's going to definitely do stuff like that to where you're going to have to figure out, will your buyers pay this if I charge this price, or should I maybe do a little bit of a discount? Because sometimes working with them just that little bit off can help. So I would say this is basically going to make shipping go up a little bit, and it may make buyers want to offer a little less. Okay, why is USPS raising prices? They're trying to tackle some serious financial challenges because last year in 2024 they lost 9.5 billion, and this year so far they're estimated to lose another 6.5 billion. Wow. And these hikes are part of the Delivering for America 10-year plan to where we'll save you money in 10 years, basically before like 2035 plan. And it'll save you money, the seller, but it can also maybe make them profitable. You're getting more into what's your business goals and business plans and business policies and other things and what's your expenses like. That may make this part of the reason that, you could maybe become more profitable if you did an audit and maybe eliminated some of that. But yeah, this losing money right here is definitely a huge part of it. And they've been losing money for going on probably the last 10 years. It seems like that's been the case. Each year I keep hearing more price changes. The prices go up. They keep losing money. I guess whatever their business goals into it and what they're doing business wise is just not working. Inflation and cost, rising transportation and labor cost have made it more expensive to move mail and packages across the country. Yeah, because from what I've heard, they deliver it kind of like a flat cost to make it cheaper for you than UPS or FedEx, who will charge to where you can deliver it in like 3 days or less. Or FedEx is like overnight, up to 2 days. They have it to where it's quicker than USPS. So they're still cheaper than those because you could see $15 to $30 for shipping. Plus, USPS, as long as you do it during mail hours, they do come pick it up for free, as in FedEx does, but UPS charges if you don't go to their location to come pick up for deliveries. At least that's what I've seen in the past. It's been a while since I've looked at their pickup cost. But yeah, inflation and cost, and that could go from the last president into this president, and seeing how some of their policies, just that tiny bit, which is like maybe a 1 to 2%, maybe inflation and cost, but it's more to do with, I think, getting back to the expenses. Network modernization. They're rolling out standard service charge changes and network realignment to improve delivery speeds. The price increases help fund these upgrades. Well, that can help in some ways, but I'll believe that when I see it, especially when it depends on what you ship. If you ship medium mail, you basically have the risk of it getting delivered or not. And I had one issue recently, and I'll try to make a video on that, where it never got scanned, but it got delivered. And it went through, I had to kind of go work with the buyer throughout the month because they wouldn't respond as quick as normal people do sometimes. They've got a life, and I get that. I don't get mad at them. Some normal people, they'll respond to me in 30 minutes, some up to a week, sometimes never. So there's really no normal expectation on that one to kind of answer that. But yeah, their delivery speeds and how quick it gets to the buyer has definitely improved. But let's look at now compared to 2017, as in it could sometimes pick up stuff just in my area and lose stuff. And it could take a couple weeks to get it out. It could take up to a week or two. So they've definitely changed and gotten better, but I think they're trying to, maybe it could help. Maybe if you can pay your people less, maybe, but I get that that's hard to do, especially when I think instead of doing that, you see more using their own vehicles. But they want to try to eliminate losses and damages because when you insure your packages, you'll know they fight. They fight to cover these packages, and it's not easy on you. As someone who does have that problem every once in a while, even though I do local a lot, yeah, it's a headache. And with their delivery drivers, I have noticed compared to what it used to be a week or two, it's gotten better. And definitely the type of service you get, they've improved. Okay, and then the last one. The self-funding mandate. Unlike many government agencies, USPS doesn't receive tax dollars for operating expenses. It relies on revenue from postage and services. Yeah, so when you ship an item, basically you're paying into their business. But here's the problem with that. They use this as in, oh, well, that's why we give you free supplies. Maybe if you charged maybe a good deal on them, maybe you could cover whether you raise your prices or not. So it kind of goes back to what are your business, plans and goals of the company. Because this sounds more like, oh, we don't get the self-funding mandate, but do you really get our tax dollars to go to you? To where it sounds more like, okay, does USPS get grants from taxpayers? Not usually, but there are exceptions. Emergency relief during COVID, they got $9 billion basically, if I round it, 8.64 billion to basically offset losses using taxpayer funds. Fleet modernization, basically for the electric vehicles that during Biden's administration. I don't want to get political because it's not really this channel. Political Postal Service Reform Act. In 2022, USPS received over $100 billion in taxpayer assistance to help with retiree health benefits and other liabilities. I don't know if I'd want to pay for that. You hearing this may not want to either. And then you have it. USPS may receive targeted government appropriations for specific programs like the Postal Service Health Benefits Program, but not for general operations. So basically, it's not funded like most government or most federal agencies, but it does tap into public funds. And basically, like I said, our money does kind of go into what we pay postal and stuff. We do go into getting free supplies, and maybe they could cut that out. Maybe look at your expenses, maybe look at your business policies and your business plans, and maybe look at it and go, maybe we could do better and try to make it to where we don't got to raise the price because, I mean, you're already looking at ground advantage for a pound and under at $5, and 10 years ago it was half of that. The same with media mail. So in 10 years, are we going to be paying $10 to ship stuff? I don't know. I think they need to come up with, because USPS is more flexible and kind of price instead of UPS and FedEx, I think they need to come up with a better business policy. that can make them start to make money so they don't have to raise the prices, because you're becoming not as, say, a better option than FedEx or UPS, especially when they may offer better insurance and other things too. I've not really shipped that much with either one as I have USPS, and they've gotten better through the years, but they do fight on damages and losses. So, in a way, there's things that they could do, and I would not blame political arguments for this, because it really only goes into like 1 or 2% that factor into anything. It's more to do with the business, infrastructure, whatever government they get into it. What is the business mindset and policies and everything that's ran to make the business, profitable or lose money? You won't know that unless you audit the business, or go look at expenses. So, yeah, I just think USPS needs to change. And raising money like this, it's are in a way raising, say, shipping prices like this isn't necessarily maybe the answer to it, because the higher it gets, it may make people go, maybe I should just go local, and you have seen some think like that. But hey, let me know your thoughts. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Feel free to suggest the topic. I can basically I use this Copilot, and maybe we can look up some information to help you out. So thank you for watching. Check out the links in the description. Please subscribe. Peace.